right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Air quality problems and the need for more rain have many talking tonight. The changes coming this weekend that will help ease the expanding drought conditions.
Missouri's governor signs off on a ban on transgender health care and sports participation for minors. Tonight, the options for trans youth in the Show Me State. First tonight, Lake St. Louis police say this man sexually assaulted a juvenile multiple times. And investigators fear he met more victims online.
Got to be really careful about what you put out in the social media, because whatever you put out never disappears.
Tonight, police are encouraging those victims to come forward. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski joins us now with more on how investigators believe the suspect lured and trapped his victims. Laura.
Mike, police believe Enrique White was using several different aliases to meet people on several different dating apps. And they say his deceit and his crimes didn't end there. Lake St. Louis police say they received a report on Saturday detailing multiple sexual assaults involving a juvenile. Detectives say they believe 28-year-old Enrique White contacted the victim through a dating app under a different name, possibly used alcohol or drugs to incapacitate them, threatened them with a weapon, all before sexually assaulting them. Personal security consultant Mike Barberi says online dating can be very dangerous.
Some of our clients that have problems with online daters have been stalked. People have shown up at their place of employment. One lady in particular was roofied and woke up the next day, didn't even know what had happened, found out that her pictures were all over the internet.
Police say White was using dating apps like Plenty of Fish, Meet Me, and BLK to contact victims. Only one person has come forward, but they believe there could be more. Barberi says people have to be very careful when meeting dates online.
One of the things you don't want to do is to meet that person at his house or at his apartment or any other place. If you're going to meet the person, you should meet that person in a public area. You should drive yourself.
He says it's also a good idea to be discreet about personal information and even the pictures on dating profiles.
Never share any personal details about yourself. Never share, probably it's a good idea never to use your last name. Probably a good idea never to tell anybody where you work, what kind of car you drive, where you live, your telephone number. All these things really shouldn't be part of your profile.
Barberi says it can be very hard for law enforcement to track down predators from online dating sites, especially if they use an alias.
It's extremely hard to find out unless you, somehow get this guy's real name or you get his license plate, and then you give it to us and we can run the plate and we can find out exactly who this guy really is, right?
White is facing several sexual assault-related charges, including rape, sexual abuse, and child molestation. Again, Lake St. Louis police think there could be more victims. They asked them or anyone else with information to call them at 636-625-8018. Mike.
Thanks. New information tonight into a major case squad investigation of a deadly home invasion in Ferguson. The victim has been identified as Darian Williams. Investigators say early Sunday morning, a group broke into his home on Knollstone Drive looking for money. Williams was found shot to death outside his home. Police have not identified any suspects. If you have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS, and you can remain anonymous. Tonight, police are still looking for the person who shot and killed a man outside a Soulard nightclub. It's a business police call a problem. Robert Townsend has neighborhood reaction. He joins us live from outside St. Louis Police Headquarters. Robert.
Mike, the Soulard Sports Bar is now on the radars of police and the city. People at nearby businesses are also now on alert. It's been an unsettling day for Billy Barnett at J Gravity Strings Guitar Shop in Soulard.
Oh, wow, that's a place right next door.
His mind not really on his music, but a murder that happened across the street outside Bottom Line Sports Bar and Grill on South 7th Street.
Not surprising. Just nothing really good happens after 12 o'clock down here anymore.
Police say shortly after 12:30 Wednesday morning, a violent crime happened.
The park ranger was hearing the gunfire.
The ranger went to the nightclub and found Jamal Perkins dead. Police say Perkins had been shot multiple times. It happened across the street from the popular Soulard Market.
It's my understanding that this incident took place on the parking lot and wasn't inside of the establishment.
There was a person, the guy shot not too long ago, earlier this year down that way. But on the most part, This is a pretty safe and kind of everybody kind of looks out for each other.
The deadly shooting is the 73rd homicide in the city this year. This was not the first time police had been called to this sports bar and grill.
I know that they have been working with our problem properties officers as well as the problem properties unit of the building division for the city of St. Louis. I don't have any further detail as far as exactly where that is in that status.
The business was closed when we stopped by. Meantime, police have not said anything about a motive for the man's murder.
31. That's wrong, but somebody knows something.
Anyone with any information is asked to call St. Louis Police. Now, you can also remain anonymous if you call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Live downtown, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
We're learning more tonight about the arrest of a former Jefferson County Sheriff's deputy charged in a drunk driving crash that killed his wife. Colby McCreary faces DWI and manslaughter charges for the crash on I-55 in Festus back on April 30th. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says his blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit. But on the night of the crash, Festus police told the sheriff's office there were no signs of impairment. The Festus chief is denying claims of a cover-up.
If I were trying to cover something up, why would I have contacted the Highway Patrol and asked them to come and investigate this accident?
Tonight, we're also hearing from the mother of Savannah McCreary, who died in that crash. She's left grieving for her daughter and worrying about the 2 young kids she left behind.
I love Colby. I feel horrible for him because he's the one that has to wake up every morning and know this is what he created. Justice needs to be served and being held accountable for your actions. Why did you get behind the wheel? You know better.
Tonight, Colby McCreary is out of jail on bond. Tonight, growing reaction into new Missouri laws placing restrictions on the transgender community. Today, Governor Mike Parson signed 2 bills into law banning certain health services and participation in sports for trans youth. New tonight, our Brent Solomon is here with a closer look. Brent?
Mike, today the St. Louis County Health Department sent out a health advisory saying if you know someone in Missouri who needs gender-affirming care, have them act right away. Because come August 28th, it won't happen in the Show Me State.
It was even more impactful for our community because he signed it during Pride Month.
Robert Fisher of the LGBTQ advocacy group Promo is referring to 2 bills Governor Mike Parson signed into law Wednesday. One bans minors from getting gender-affirming care. The other blocks trans athletes from competing in sports that don't align with their biological gender.
I think the idea of trying to say that, hey, Missouri is not transgender friendly or that we're trying to drive people out of state is really a false narrative. What we're trying to do is protect children.
I think it is a rather silly thing to focus on.
Michael Walk of West County has a teenage transgender daughter.
She knows how much having access to gender-affirming health care has meant to her. Her emotional state has lifted so much. It's a shame that for several years now, kids will not be able to access the same health care.
Youth who are already receiving gender-affirming care before the new law kicks in can continue to do so in Missouri. Fisher says some families are packing up for other states.
And many people are leaving now. There are people that are leaving at the end of this month to protect their children.
It creates waves of anxiety for all the trans kids because even though most of them may not play sports, they feel like they are being put in the position of someone who is an outsider. And they already, a lot of them feel that way. They don't need to be made to feel more outside. They need to be included more.
Well, the new law will be in place for 4 years. Tonight, the County Health Department is sharing a list of resources for families affected. To find it, go to KSDK.com and click on As Seen on TV.
St. Louis City residents could soon pay more for water. Today, a board committee discussed a proposal that would raise monthly bills by $5 next month and an additional $5 per month in January. This would be the first rate increase in 13 years. Kurt Scobie, the director of public utilities, says it's needed to upgrade the city's aging infrastructure and for day-to-day operations. He says the proposal was in the works before last month's water main break that flooded I-64 in Dogtown.
The timing was good. It's a discussion that had been going on for a while, but it's needed. It just provides a good illustration that this infrastructure doesn't last forever.
Scobie says the repairs of the I-64 water main break will cost around $1 million. That's money that wasn't in the budget.